Welcome to Divine Love Talk with Dr. Parthenia Grant, where we talk about health, well-being, and the love of the divine that exists in all of us. Now, here's your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant.
All right, I have one exciting show lined up today. We're going to be talking about taking dominion over the earth back from the power elite so that we can all work together to co-create the best possible future for our children. Now, joining me in studio is Vanessa Benjamin again, because she's been co-creating with me. We've been working with the elementals. We're going to talk about our work. I also have an amazing woman that I met last night, and there's such a thing as serendipity and synchronicity coming together at the same time. And when those two come together, serendipity is, happy little coincidences. And then synchronicity is when timing and opportunity collide, and then magic happens. And so last night was one of those moments. I had been invited to the urban theater movement to see a series of one-act plays that a friend of mine had written one of them, and I wanted to support him. And I was, Vanessa, I've been really busy working on a lot of projects.
Yeah.
And so I really didn't want to break my rhythm, because I was editing. And then, but I've been listening to my higher self, and my higher self said, get on over there.
Girl, you gotta go.
That's right. I said, I dropped everything. And I said, okay, I'll work when I get back. And so I have Brenda Banda on the line, and she is the co-founder of Urban Theater Movement. She is also a director, an actor, and a writer. And one of the plays that was performed last night was called Obscurity, and she's going to pronounce it in Spanish for me. Brenda, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
So pronounce it correctly for me.
Yes, it's obscuridad.
All right. Okay, I didn't want to butcher that.
Thank you.
But all of the plays, Brenda, were absolutely phenomenal. They had powerful social messages and commentaries. So many of them were dealing with issues. Well, yours was dealing with domestic violence and the trauma that it wreaks on children who often never, ever recover from it. And it was brilliantly done. And, I want to just tell everybody out there, if you can make it tonight, it's the last night, okay? And it's so worth seeing. And Brenda, I do hope you guys are going to do this again sometime soon, because it was just, I was blown away at the caliber of the acting. But let's get back to the show. Okay, so afterwards, I was like, okay. I asked my friend, Joe, I said, Joe, who directed the one, with the little girl? And he pointed me, no, it was someone else who pointed me in your direction, because he was talking to somebody else. He just pointed. And then I went in and met Brenda, and I was telling her about what I do and the show that I'm doing today, about co-creating with the elementals, because I'm so concerned about what's happening with the weather. And I was telling her about the president, he was a 3-term president of this island nation, a Pacific island nation called Kiribati, that is literally sinking and being, it's being inundated by hurricanes and floods and tornadoes. And many of the islands in that nation have already been evacuated, and they literally have just a few years left before the entire nation will have to find a new homeland. And I sent her the link last night, and this is really late, when I got home. So Brenda, thank you so much for joining me on this show today. I believe Kim Michaels is online. Kim, are you there?
Yeah.
All right. So Kim, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay. What I'm talking about today is sharing experiences that Kim Michaels did a dictation from Mother Mary a few weeks back, where I was very, very, distraught, Brenda, and concerned about, the heavy spraying of chemicals and nanoparticles in the air, not just in America, but I've traveled all over the world. And Scotland was the only place where I did not see the skies being being pelted with chemtrails.
Even in Morocco?
Oh, Morocco was like streaked, looking like a freak. You know, the sky was like all freaked out in Morocco. And I was like, why here? You know, this is crazy. But, you know, there's a lot of natural indigenous things, you know, because that's the only place you can get argan or oil is in Morocco. It's the only place where it grows.
Wow.
So they're very much still connected to the earth. So what I was telling Brenda last night is when I watched the video, my heart went out to this 3-term president who had gone to the United Nations pleading, you know, their case and saying, you know, our people are going to lose their everything, their nation, their heritage, you know, because when you have to relocate, I mean, everything generally gets lost unless you're working very hard. And I said to Brenda, I said, wow, you know, I was listening to him and all I could think about was, wow, they're indigenous people. Have they forgotten how powerful they are?
Right.
Have they forgotten how all they have to do is connect to the elements and they don't need to go to anybody and plead their case? And Brenda got it. And I said, oh my God, girl, you have to come on the show with me. Because how often do you meet somebody that actually, Vanessa, you and I know, they're just not awake.
You're like, oh, these people are crazy. Talking to an elemental, girl. Are you nuts?
And what is an elemental anyway?
Schizophrenia. Right.
Exactly.
A gnome? I don't know.
What is a gnome?
Yeah.
What is a sylph? No, totally. So, Brenda, I want to thank you, and Kim Michaels, I want to thank you for the amazing service that you provide in terms of being willing to take on all of my concerns about the planet. And I'm just so grateful to CRN for allowing me to have this platform to actually be of service to humanity, because it's clear I'm not the only one who's concerned about this, even though the majority of people are asleep. Yeah. So Brenda, I'm going to open up with the poem that I wrote, titled Co-Creating the Best Possible Future, and share it with everyone, and share the prayer that I created with the help of Mother Mary right after the show that Kim and I did, where we were talking about what we could do as people to take back dominion over the planet. So it says, being orphaned from the divine feminine left us little choice but to figure out how to mother ourselves without a real voice, and how the world was being run into the ground from top down, with patriarchy's drum banging, might makes right all over town. Now it's a new day with millions of downtrodden having their say over the drum beating. Remain mute about the price we all pay for silent consent to invisible control devices, while in sleep we lay, stealing our free will with nanotoxins falling from the sky as children play. With air unfit to breathe, those with money to spare buy air in a bottle. But no money is needed to access wisdom within to make air safe to breathe again. All were given dominion over the elements of earth, wind, fire, and water. X-Men are not the only ones who can command the elements without barter. Pay attention to the air and watch how the wind comes when you command it. Talk to the trees and see how they connect with you when you stop and sit. Everything is alive with a spark of the divine waiting for you to ignite the fire and realize we all have the power to co-create something better than funeral pyres. It's pointless to petition world governments to solve the problems they create. Their intention is to control by all means necessary, divide, conquer, and hate. The real war being fought without began within a divided and fractured mind that forgot it could connect with the universe and be a power source that shines. Thank you, Mother Mary, for the inspiration.
Wow.
For that poem.
It's all in there.
Well,
it's all in there. You just pointed everything out. It's all in there.
Oh, thank you, Brenda. And Brenda, you and I were talking last night about the indigenous people have always done the rain dances.
Yes.
they've always talked to the elements and connected with them. And so today's show is a call to everyone who is connected to Mother Earth to call upon the Divine Mother, to call upon the elementals and remember who we are. We were given dominion over this planet. And what I was thinking on the way here, and Kim, I'd like to bring you in on this, is that, at first I was so concerned in that show that we did about us stressing out the elementals even more. And I was thinking about the power elite, literally abusing their command over the elementals. But it's more force-based technology that they're using, with HAARP and all of the nanotechnology and the airplanes that they're using to spray. They're not even commanding the elements anymore. They're just saying, get out of the way. We've taken over your job. So Brenda, what do you think about that? And I'm going to bring Kim in on the discussion.
Well, you mentioned the rain dancing, and one thing that I thought that was fascinating when I heard about rain dancing broken down is they don't pray for rain. They don't ask for it. They give thanks for rain when they're in drought, and it's as if they've already had it. You give thanks for what you know is coming. So that is called faith.
Yes.
And so faith being the number one technology on your side, and connecting to the earth and to the elements. I mean, that is it right there. And remembering who we are. I mean, for me, is when I discovered ancestry worship. And I honored my ancestors and my recent ancestors, and I started seeing messages when I asked for questions. One day I asked for a particular sign, and I walked out of my house, and my whole house was covered in white feathers.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I just got chills.
Isn't that magical? Man.
Yes, and I've these past few years, I mean, the other day I was asleep, and I woke up, and I saw the tree of life. It was a spiral vision. I was not asleep. I woke up. Yep. And I saw this, and this is not because I'm special. This is because I make a conscious choice to do what you're doing as research to find out who I am, to try to remember. When you say, the elite is forcing and doing what they are doing, I will say yes. And, one thing that I say, we have the enemy in our homes, television. And entertainment, which is a form of hypnosis. Yep. And you have the vibrations that the TV gives is equal to when you're going under hypnosis. But people don't know this, and people don't want to know this. And of course not. I thank you for this platform, because then people think that you're crazy. So I think that having you speak on this. And this is things that, because I always say, like, not only do we not remember who we are, but we don't know how our brain works. Yes. We don't know how images, and that is why I do theater. And even in that little theater, I figure I hope and I have faith that there are people just like you with your program that are just sending little pebbles into this ocean, and you're doing your part. And, at that little theater, I'm doing my part as, at the end of the play, it says, wake up, wake up. That's for a reason. It's for the character, but it's for all of us to wake up. And the more people do, naturally, within your families, people see you be happier and dealing with life better. And people notice. You don't have to preach. They notice, and they pick up on those vibrations. Yes. So your responsibility is your own awakening and your own power. And, oh, my goodness, the other thing is, speaking about elementals, when you really, like, I've read books on Wicca and how that works. It is completely putting yourself in a position of power.
Oh, wow. Brenda, you are amazing. Kim Michaels is coming up next after commercial break with his weekly message from the Ascended Masters. Thank you all for joining us. Yes, I wrote the book. I thought I was the crazy one, and I'm okay being the crazy one. Okay, you're listening to Divine Love Talk. I am your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant. Coming up is Kim Michaels from TranscendenceToolbox.com. We have Vanessa Benjamin in studio and Brenda Banda. Okay, we'll be back with more Divine Love Talk.
The legends of Ka'anapali Luau at the Ka'anapali Beach Hotel will take your breath away with an abundant feast, spellbinding dances, and music from Lei Pono Productions. Be greeted with a lei and browse to see island crafts made by local artisans. As you hear the pu or conch shell blow, your luau experience will begin. The featured entree is a whole roasted pig and a bountiful menu of some of Hawaii's favorite food choices. Oh, you can't forget our famous made in-house taro poi. As your night comes to an end under the spell of the moon, be amazed by the famous firewalk. By the end of the night, you'll be full, and we hope you'll have made new friends and some forever memories while you continue to listen to music from Maui's local Hawaiian musicians every Monday night at Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel. Ka'anapali Beach Hotel voted Best Aloha Spirit by Hawaii Magazine readers. Call 667-0128 or visit legendsofka'anapali.com for your exciting island adventure.
Do you still believe the old-fashioned notion you're free to withdraw your own cash from your own bank? Don't bank on it. Pat Boone here. You know, the truth is, if you have a bank account, you're a target of the government's new war against cash. According to The Secret War, a new white paper from the folks at Swiss America. Get a free copy now. It's a must-read for all of us. The Secret War.
Thanks, Pat. Call toll-free 888-732-7221. That's 888-732-7221.
Every day, governments are moving closer to outlawing cash to create a cashless society. No wonder banks are moving to limit cash withdrawals. No wonder banks must now spy on you and me for the government. Hope you'll take it from me, Pat Boone. You need to read The Secret War. It's free.
Call now, 888-732-7221. That's 888-732-7221.
Is your business paying too much for your water? Pure Water Technology provides the world's best, fully monitored, self-cleaning, bottle-less water purification coolers for your employee drinking water. That's right, I said bottle-less. Because Pure Water Technology can provide you and your employees with a much healthier and cost-efficient alternative than what you're currently using. And we provide free trials. Pure Water Technology has technology unlike any other company. And you can save an average office over 6,000 gallons of water annually. So you can do your part for our California drought, save water, at the same time have happier, healthier employees. We use new reverse osmosis technology. It's available only through Pure Water Technology. No one else has this system. And we save water too. Log on to ditchthebottle.com or call 888-790-7873 for free information and your free trial. 888-790-7873. Call now.
Okay, we're back with our weekly message from the Ascended Masters via Kim Michaels. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you. I am the Ascended Master, Mother Mary, and I am happy to talk about the topic of the power elite and elemental life. When you talk about the power elite, you are, of course, aware, many of the spiritual people on earth, that there is a physical power elite. But are you also aware that they themselves really do not have much power on earth, because they are the puppets of a power elite that exists in the three other realms of the material universe, the emotional, mental, and identity realms. If you want a concentrated teaching on this, we have provided a book called Cosmology of Evil. We have, of course, given many more teachings on this topic, but this book gives you a very concentrated introduction to the topic of the non-physical power elite. The reason I am making this distinction is that the physical power elite, the people who are in physical embodiment, are not truly concerned with elemental life. Many of them deny that there is any form of elemental life because they deny that there is anything beyond the material. Many of them are, if not necessarily non-religious, they are anti-religious and therefore deny anything that sounds like there's a spiritual world that has an influence on the physical. The power elite in the physical octave have a desire to have control over the physical earth, and therefore they will deny anything that they believe they cannot control. However, when you look at the part of the power elite that exists in the emotional, mental, and identity realms, they are to some degree concerned with elemental life and are to some degree seeking to manipulate elemental life and entrap them into certain forms and patterns that cause what you see as natural disasters. While, of course, as I have explained many times through this messenger, there are no natural disasters because anything on earth is affected by the consciousness of both human beings in embodiment and what I call the dark forces that are beyond embodiment. So, nothing natural has ever happened on this earth since the descent of humankind into a lower state of consciousness that has made it possible for the power elite to manipulate people. That is when the natural functioning of the earth was replaced with what you see today, which is a highly unnatural state. Now, what you need to understand when you look at nature is, or what you call nature, is that there is not one separate, distinct, identifiable power elite that has control over everything. The power elite is inherently divided into factions that are fighting against each other. So there are some among the power elite who are seeking to control elemental life. There are also some that are seeking to reduce everything to a mechanical functioning, where elemental life is reduced to a kind of robot, a kind of mechanical creation. This, of course, is not the natural function of elemental life. The natural function is that elemental beings will outpicture what human beings project upon them, but there is some room for creativity in the elemental kingdom, and this means that elementals in their natural state are not controlled by human beings, they are working with human beings, and that is how everyone grows. In the current state of the unnatural state, many elementals have become trapped by these vortexes of especially fear and anger that have been put upon them, especially by those in the 3 higher realms who are manipulating elemental life, but also by mankind who are generating so much fear and anger that it affects elemental life. And so some elemental beings have been trapped in these vortexes of fear and anger, which means that they are predictable because it is predictable how they will react. They will always respond a certain way. And when a certain amount of negative energy is generated, you see the effect in the form of erratic weather patterns, whether it be tornadoes or hurricanes, torrential rains or heat waves or whatever. So these are what you call natural phenomena, but they are highly unnatural in the sense that elemental life does not inherently produce this.
Wow, that was so amazing, Kim. Thank you so much, Mother Mary. Vanessa said that was epic. Okay, Brenda, we will be back with more. I'm going to give the prayer that Vanessa and I have been using, and we will discuss that amazing dictation from Kim Michaels. You're listening to Divine Love Talk on crntalk.com. I am your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant, and joining me is Brenda Banda. What's the name of your company? Urban
Theater Movement.
All right. We'll be back shortly.
CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was the location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
Hi, friends. This is Larry Minetti. Go to larryminetti.com to get my book, Aloha Magnum. You'll read all about the wonderful guest stars like Carol Burnett, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and many, many more. Also, there is an episode guide and my favorite recipes that I really cook at home. I will include a free signed photo with every book. Get Aloha Magnum at larryminetti.com. Order now. Aloha.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Is your business paying too much for your water? Pure Water Technology provides the world's best fully monitored, self-cleaning, bottleless water purification coolers for your employee drinking water. That's right, I said bottle-less. Because Pure Water Technology can provide you and your employees with a much healthier and cost-efficient alternative than what you're currently using. And we provide free trials. Pure Water Technology has technology unlike any other company. And you can save an average office over 6,000 gallons of water annually. So you can do your part for our California drought, save water, at the same time have happier, healthier employees. We use new reverse osmosis technology. It's available only through Pure Water Technology. No one else has this system. And we save water too. Log on to ditchthebottle.com or call 888-790-7873 for free information and your free trial. 888-790-7873. Call now.
Okay, we're back with Divine Love Talk. Kim, that was totally an epic dictation. Brenda, I would like to get, since this is your first time on Divine Love Talk and listening to it, what was your response to that dictation from Kim Michaels?
I was not aware that the higher dimension beings, that is amazing, and that the physical beings here don't have that much power. I totally, somewhere in my heart, knew that. And, I just want to talk about really quickly when you talk about fear and love, if we only knew, and this needs to be known, the frequency that love has is so high, and the frequency that fear has is so low, that in order for within the world or within our individual life, for us to have a really bad experience, there has to be so much fear and so much hatred in our own life and in general in the world for these things to happen. On the contrary, though, to find that love within ourselves and that peace and do the meditation and do the yoga and the eating healthy and all those things that give you self-love, to radiate that, it is so powerful.
Yes.
So that the responsibility lies really in the awakened is not so much like will everybody awake even though we want them to.
Yeah.
But
that's not going to happen right away.
Well, it'll happen. Yeah, exactly. On its own, it's the responsibility of sharing that love, as you did yesterday when you met me and you heard the sisterhood, and you said I said to my co-founder, I said to Paul, I said, I found a tribeswoman. I found someone.
That's right.
And that's divine. And doing these talks and saying, not focusing on the problem as much as like,
the solution.
What? We are, yes, the solution, which is talking all we are is information. All we are is ones and zeros. Our bodies, everything is just information. And so we share the information, and it may not hit that day, but on a subconscious level, people will take that, and that's faith.
Yes.
And that's what I have to say about that. And the same thing with Kiribati. It broke my heart to see the video. And there is a big, forgetting. But the more of us that remember and practice, it is a practice.
Yes.
If you don't practice, if I don't practice my prayers, my meditation, and my prayers are when I'm driving, I'm giving thanks.
Yes.
When I'm eating, I'm giving thanks.
Yep.
It's just living in that higher
moment.
Frequency. Yes. And giving thanks that you're radiating that. And it's not easy. I've had a tough few months. But you know what I'm saying, is to keep yourself there. And for Kiribati, we could do it could be a global prayer.
We are going to do that. Yeah, the guy who did that video is going
Yes.
to. We're going to do a show, and we're going to send that to the president of Kiribati, because he's sort of like the Dalai Lama of that nation, and you can see he has so much heart.
Yes, he does.
And he's
breaks my heart
pleading,
watching him.
out to all of us. So he touched my heart, and I'm sending him a lot of love today. And the show today is dedicated to the former president of Kiribati.
Oh.
That is exactly what it's about. I mean, that's it. I mean, you think, and some people are, they might be saying that is not powerful. We need to do something physically. Well, everything that is here in the material world has come from the invisible world. The invisible world is powerful beyond belief. Thoughts and intention is why everything exists, as we just heard with
Mother
Mary. And so that's where it starts, is where are your thoughts going? Where's your gratitude? Do not focus on the physical, because that's the trail end of manifestation.
True. So true.
you have to pierce that heavenly realm with all that intention, because if we're focusing on the trail end of the manifestation, that's not where the power lies. That's just like, here is your manifest. Here it is. This is what you asked for. And those are wishes of yesterday. And so we need to focus on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Girl,
right?
you are my new soul sister. I recognized her immediately. I was like, oh, this is my homegirl. So welcome. And Kim Michaels, I'm sorry, I'm so excited. I clearly have known Brenda for many lifetimes. And we're coming back together. So Kim, I want to bring you in on this discussion, because you're so vital to all of this. And without your dictations, I would not have gotten the prayer that I'm going to be sharing with people who want to join me in this work of co-creating a beautiful future for our children. So, Kim Michaels.
Yeah, I think it is very important to remember what she said in the dictation, because I find a lot of spiritual people that they are aware of what's going on the earth, but they are not aware of what she said, that the power elite that is physical is really they're just puppets.
Yes.
And if they were not being controlled by those in higher realms, they would not be able to do very much. And so what we can do as spiritual people, and this is what Mother Mary has said several times, is that we can make the calls to neutralize the non-physical beings that are part of the power elite. We don't have to go out and fight the physical power elite.
Right.
We don't have to create a violent revolution or anything like that. We can be completely peaceful, but we can make the calls, and that's what, for example, the book Help the Ascended Master Stop War contains practical tools for actually removing the power elite that creates war over and over again.
Yes. And I think that probably the biggest trick that has been played on humanity is thinking that there is nothing beyond the physical that is affecting us, when we know through quantum physics that everything is energy and frequency and vibration. And you feel it when you walk in a room full of people that are full of hate. I mean, they just look at you and it's just like, okay, let me go the other way. Brenda, I hear you having something to say.
Well, yeah, I thank you.
I feel you.
Yes, there's something to be said about those beings and this energy. And the thing is when we are in a state of hate and fear, let's think of it this way. If they are sending messages with a satellite, their satellite hits people who are in the, if your soul is in the radio station of hate, and fear.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sending out a message to manipulate those who are in that radio station. You get the signal. Then you are being controlled, because that is how they can only control people who are in the state of fear
Mm-hmm.
and anger.
Yeah.
So, and you're easily manipulated because you're walking out around with anger and that low frequency, and you're picking up the messages that
Mm-hmm.
you're being controlled. We're being controlled. So,
yeah.
how do we flip that?
And
right?
you know what, Brenda, they're reacting in anger, because like I hear those frequencies and I feel them, and now what I say when I run into them is, "Oh, that's not mine."
Exactly.
You don't own me. You don't control me.
And you know what? Fear and hate it is a wonderful tool for us, for humans, because they're emotions, but it's not to swim in it, to dwell in it. It's to recognize what is not in our past, to correct it. And we have not been given this language. Our schools of mysticism were taken away. Our ancestors, our gods, were taken away. Our power was taken away. And we were given something that is not powerful. And we were given, now this is a word that I don't like. You know, people talk about hope. Hope is in the negative. When you're hoping for something, if you don't have it, you will not have it.
I agree.
You have to understand faith.
Yes, and belief.
Faith is knowing that you will have it, because you have your ancestors, you have thousands of years of people loving you, you have ascended masters, you have your higher self, but yet I know that because I've lived it, I've seen it. Nobody can take that away from me. It is in my spirit, in my mind.
Yes.
I didn't read it in a book. I experienced it. So
hello.
Yes. And so getting people to those places is inviting them to the places that you go to get a meditation or to listen to the radio, and getting them curious enough. Now, everybody's not going to do this, and everybody has their part.
And that's okay.
Yes, there are people here who are meant to make you angry so that you change,
Mm-hmm.
that you do the things that you have to do. And at the end of the day, let's not fall victim. Just understand that I recognize patterns in my life where I go, I understand where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is part of the process. And this has been difficult because I'm entering a new wave. And this new wave, I got to say, Dr. Grant, it's meeting you.
Right?
When I met you, yes, I'm like, I'm in a new wave now. And you have to recognize that, because it is language. The universe and nature, there's language out there for you that you can learn if we turn off the TV and if we start listening to inside.
Yes.
And to the prayers. So love and
fear.
Well, Brenda, thank you for showing up when I asked you to be on the show late last night when I was leaving the theater, and for watching the video and reading the stuff that I sent her, and then showing up early this morning, because the average person would have said, "Oh, I'm not prepared, I can't." But I just, she followed, Brenda, you followed your intuition, I followed mine, and Vanessa, I know that that's what you're learning to do right now, so I want to bring you in on it.
I'm getting better at it, for sure. And the Decree to the Divine Director, which I found on Kim Michael's website, is definitely helping me to, I guess, assimilate all of the intuition that I knew a long time ago but wasn't trusting. Yeah. And the main message was just trust, because you do know. And that's where my peace kind of comes from, is in that knowing. Yes. And then
and in the practice too.
Yeah.
And Kim, I want to say that Vanessa and I are both doing the 33-day vigil to the Great Divine Director, and that poem that I opened up with, Brenda, that came from doing that decree every day, and then just writing whatever comes to mind. So again, Kim Michaels, thank you for all of those tools at Transcendence Toolbox. Is there anything you want to add to that?
I've used that tool myself many times over the years, and it really is. It's amazing to write down afterwards and see what comes out of you that you had not even thought about with your conscious mind.
Mm-hmm. And the rhymes that come out. I mean, I don't even like rhyming. I don't even like iambic pentameter.
That's vibration, and vibration and rhyme is divinity. That's art is divinity. So it's just, you're connected. It's coming. You know what I'm saying? It's rhythm.
That's how I know it's not that it's coming through me. And not necessarily from me. So what I want to do right now is share the mantra and the command to the elementals, so that anyone out there who wants to join me and Vanessa and Brenda, and now Brenda, this is now, your mantra. This is just my simple way, and this is what Mother Mary gave to me when I asked for her help after the show that day. So every morning when I go out and I look at the sky, I connect with the elementals, and I say, I command the elementals of air, fire, water, and earth to work together in combination with the violet flame to balance, all imbalanced weather patterns around the globe to transmute and transform all toxic chemicals and harmful nanoparticles being used by the power elite to control and prevent the rising consciousness of humanity through sickness and disease. Transmute this into Ormus gold and other substances beneficial to the well-being and ascension of humanity and all creation on earth. Allow this Ormus gold to fall to the earth like manna from heaven. And then I repeat the violet flame mantra, which is, and I'd like to have you and Vanessa join me with the mantra of the violet flame, which is, I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that God desires. We're going to say it 3 times. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that God desires. That's one time. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that God desires. One more time. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity that God desires. Now, personally, I do it in sets of 9. But what I've been doing is 9 times 3, which is 27. That seems to be the magical number for me. And if I don't see an immediate clearing after doing it 27 times, then I'll do it with another set of 27. Yesterday I went hiking with Simon and Lewis, and the sky was a mess. I mean, it was just streaked, and we stopped and we formed a circle, and I said, we have a Holy Trinity going here. We were on top of the mountain, and we did it 27 times, turned around, and a rainbow appeared.
Wow.
I mean, and you couldn't even see the sky, and we took a picture of it. So I always get a sign from heaven whenever I do it. And, don't get discouraged. Just go on about your business and know that it is done, that it's working for you. And I just do it. And then I look back up later and I go, whoa, thank you. So I will be posting this on Divine Love Talks Facebook page, on my personal Facebook page, so that any of you out there who want to join us, please join us in helping the elementals help us in a constructive and a powerful way. And Ormus Gold, I would urge you guys to look up, the history of it. It's a powerful transmutation of base metal into a powdery white substance that becomes a whole different molecular form. I don't know if you've heard of it, Brenda, at all?
I haven't.
Okay, well, it's worth researching, but it has magical qualities. It exists in 2 different realms simultaneously.
Wow.
Yeah, so,
beautiful.
Yes, so please take that and run with it. Vanessa, I see you got something to say.
Oh, no, I was just like, wow. Ormus Gold.
Ormus. Oh, all right. Well, see, now I threw something new out there. But Kim, I mean, most people have heard of it as like manna from heaven, because it transmutes our, lower qualities into higher qualities and helps in the ascension process.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Kim, I don't know if you've heard of Ormus Gold or not.
Not until the last time you mentioned it.
Okay. Some people call it monoatomic gold, but the ancients knew about it, and that's what they were all searching to do with alchemy, was to find a way to transmute gold into a powder that was consumable, that would open up your pineal gland and your third eye and give you access, back to the higher dimensions so that you could reconnect more directly with God.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it's a fascinating study, and I think it's important that we realize that we contain magic within us.
Right.
That we are magic.
And we are that base metal into illumination, into going into that transmuted gold. I mean, literally, we are that candle that we burn, and we are that base metal that transmutes into the gold as we heal.
Yes.
As we reach out to the ancestors and as we try to, go from fear to love.
Yes.
It's not an easy process, and it will be painful. I don't want to have anybody out there to think that it's just, you can meditate and it's this hippie
it's
thing.
Easy. No, we have to push through it. Well, yes. And that is the true alchemy. You are listening to Divine Love Talk on CRN. I'm your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant. Joining me is Kim Michaels from TranscendenceToolbox.com and Brenda Banda. How can they reach you, Brenda?
At urbantheatermovement.com or at my email, b4brendab@gmail.com.
All right, and we've got Vanessa Benjamin in studio. How can they reach you, Vanessa?
I have a Facebook page.
All right, Vanessa Benjamin on Facebook. We'll be back wrapping this up after commercial break. We're just having too much fun.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit inatlagunabeach.com.
This is Larry Minetti for Herpanacin, the acne medication that really works from the inside out. If you suffer from skin problems, Herpanacin is the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out and gets rid of all kinds of acne and blemishes on your back, neck, and your face. It works so well, you can look and feel like a movie star. Herpanacin, a natural supplement created by Dr. Wayne Diamond. You take a pill, and that's it. I've been on these supplements, and they really work, folks. Don't be afraid to look in the mirror ever again. Get Herpanacin today. Call 888-467-4200. That's 888-467-4200. Herpanacin, it really works. 888-467-4200. Tell them Larry Minetti told you to call and look and feel like $1 million with Herpanacin. Call 888-467-4200.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day, and little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
Okay, we're back wrapping this up. Boy, when you're having fun, time flies. So, Kim, what would you like to leave the audience with on this topic today?
Well, Mother Mary mentioned the book Cosmology of Evil,
Yes.
which really is not a very long book, and it's very easy to read and understand. And it's an incredible introduction to the whole topic of the power elite, both the physical and the non-physical.
And you know, I've read so many of your books, and I bought that one, and I don't know how I missed reading that. So
yeah, you've got to read that one.
I will definitely
There's
look.
secrets in there, Parthenia, you don't even know.
How about that? I'm on it, Kim. All right.
Okay.
So we'll be talking about that book next. Believe me. Brenda, what would you like to leave the audience with?
I just would like to leave the audience with, if there's any curiosity in their hearts, anything that tugs on them, go for it. Get that book, open that video, follow your intuition. I went years going against my gut instinct, only to realize it was strong since birth, and now I follow it. And they will lead you to where you need to be. This is why I did this play and wrote and directed and why I met you. And it is no-brainer. We don't have to think. You know what? Don't even listen to your brain. Your heart and your gut, go with it, and you will find yourself in wonderful places, I guarantee you.
Well, and look at the show today. I followed my intuition in asking you to do it at the last minute. You followed yours. You showed up. And that is my same story, Brenda. The men in my life have basically just done a hell of a job trying to beat down my intuition and my gifts. And I've done an amazing job of saying no. I don't think so. They're my gifts.
Beautiful.
And reclaiming them. And Vanessa, what do you want to leave the audience with today? Because you've come such a long way with the social anxiety and, setting aside so many fears. So what would you say to young people out there?
That whole worry program, it's just a program. And I know that we've all been taught that worry is a way for you to work things out, but it's not. You know what you need to do on the inside, and if you go within your heart, that's where you can find that answer. And a lot of times I would doubt it because it's like, oh, that seems kind of easy, and that might seem a little weird and out there and not plausible.
Yeah.
And, and your whole word, I call it my worry wart, will tell you things that seem plausible but have nothing to do with reality.
Exactly.
But that's when you have to go within and say,
is it true?
Yeah.
That's the only question. Is this feeling or this thought, is it crazy or is it true?
Yeah. And the weird thing too is with that whole worry thing, it might not even seem like it's crazy. It might seem like realistic in a sense from how people will frame it or what you see in the material world.
Yeah, it's a logical fallacy.
And that whole thing with Brenda talking about how, everything in the material world is the last place for manifestation. If you look at everything and you're basing all of your reality off of this, then you have nowhere to go. You have to reach higher.
You feel like a victim.
Yeah, and you have to reach higher for new answers.
So what I'm going to say to everybody in closing is now, remember I said I am the crazy lady? I love it. It's okay. So even though you may think I'm crazy, just try the mantra. Just try what I'm telling you and suspend disbelief when you're trying it and just do it and let go and let God. And then write me, okay, at divinelovetalk@gmail.com and let me know about the magic that flows after you allow yourself to get into the flow. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Kim Michaels. You can reach him at transcendencetoolbox.com and go out and get Cosmology of Evil and go out and see Brenda Banda's play tonight. What's the website again for the theater, Brenda?
It's urbantheatermovement.com.
All right. And Brenda, I love you, girl. You're my new sister. And thank you again for joining me.
You are so welcome. I'm so blessed right now. Thank you.
And I am blessed. And Vanessa, I got you. I love you so much. And thank you, Kim. You are greatly loved and appreciated.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I'm thanking the audience, and I love all of you for joining in.
Because that was your theme.
Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio show sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in CRN HD. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political hosts like Dennis Prager, Tom Hartman, Barry Farber, and so many more. Entertainment and lifestyle programming like The Robert Conrad Show, The What's Cooking Show, and The What's Cooking on Wine Show, all in true CRN HD audio. Sports, business, travel, food, wine, politics, there is something for everyone, and it's all available in CRN High Definition Sound. Log on to www.crntalk for listings and information on all your favorite shows. That's www.crntalk.com.
The radio channels. The radio channels. CRN.
News is